The Cultural Revolution began in China in August of 1966 as an attempt by Chairman Mao Zedong to retain power. Mao argued that the Cultural Revolution was necessary in order to rid China of all capitalistic influences and to get rid of what he called the four olds: old culture, old customs, old habits, and old beliefs, which he felt were counter-revolutionary and holding the nation back. One of Mao's first acts was to close the schools. This had a detrimental impact in China as young people in large numbers came out and joined what became known as the Red Guards. These largely terroristic organizations were used to publicly humiliate, assault, and in some cases, even murder political enemies of Mao and the Communist Party. Young people were encouraged to turn in anyone they suspected of harboring capitalistic or anti-revolutionary ideas. In many instances, young people turned in teachers, principals, and even their own parents to the Red Guard authorities. The Cultural Revolution ultimately ended in 1976 with Chairman Mao's death. However, it had disastrous consequences for the Chinese people. Chairman Mao, like Joseph Stalin and Adolf Hitler before him, used cult of personality to manipulate people into engaging in acts which ultimately hurt the Chinese people and compromised peace. They also undermined Chinese history and culture, leaving a nation deprived of some of its richest treasures.
Zhou Enlai's implicit distinction between smashing bourgeois ideas and smashing bourgeois individuals was quickly forgotten. Over the next few weeks, tens of thousands of people in Beijing were harangued and severely beaten. Many hundreds died. It was undergoing a slow descent into hell. The highest-ranking victims were brought out for public humiliation before mass meetings in a football stadium. They wore placards around their necks with their names crossed out like common criminals awaiting execution. Wu Han was a playwright, one of whose works angered Mao. The chairman used it as a pretext to overthrow Wu's patron, the mayor of Beijing, Peng Zhen. The purge he'd set in motion would eventually claim other victims, still higher in the chain of command. Meanwhile, Peng and his colleagues were left to twist in the wind.
The biggest nation on earth, China, is in turmoil. Is China's aging leader, Mao Zedong, losing control? Has Mao gone mad, driven perhaps to megalomania by the hysterical adulation of the teenage Red Guards?
Mao had decided to mobilize the young people as the driving force of a vast campaign to purify the Communist Party. There was to be a new revolution, a cultural revolution, a revolution in people's thinking.
It was a revolution that would unleash 10 years of violent upheaval across China. On the 18th of August 1966, millions of people converged on Beijing's Tiananmen Square. Those who heeded Mao Zedong's call for revolution would make up the Red Guards, groups of youths that targeted political enemies. To cement his grip on power, Mao would go on to purge the Communist Party. The Red Guard spread terror up and down the country, targeting intellectuals and anyone who got in their way. Traditional Chinese and Western values were swept away. Public executions became a common sight. The so-called Cultural Revolution would end up leaving millions dead.
You're all a bunch of fucking idiots! Letting people tell you what you're gonna do! Letting people push you around! How long do you think it's gonna last? How long are you gonna let it go on? How long are you gonna let them push you around? How long? Maybe you like it. Maybe you like being pushed around. Maybe you love it. Maybe you love getting your face stuck in the shit. Come on. You love it, don't you? You love it. You're all a bunch of slaves, letting everybody push you around. What are you gonna do about it? 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 What are you gonna do?
Get together one more time. Get together one more time. Get together one more time. Get together one more. Get together one more time. 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 Gotta get together. Gotta get together. Gotta get together. Gotta. Honey, you go along home and wait for me. I'll be there in just a little while. I gotta go out in this car with these people and get fucked up. Get together one more time. 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 Gotta get together. together just one more time.
On February 13th, 1970, during the Cultural Revolution, I did something very bad that I still regret. I denounced my mother to the Red Guards just because she had criticized Chairman Mao.
She was immediately arrested, sentenced to death, and executed in this park, which back then was just an open space.
I attended the trial. I wanted to show I was a genuine proletarian fighter, a true Red Guard.
Age 16 and perverted by Maoist propaganda, Zheng Hongbing changed his name to Red Flag and dedicated his life to the revolution to the point of sacrificing his family.
There were soldiers who were holding my mother. They forced her to walk down the stairs. They pushed her into a car and left with her. This is where I saw her for the last time.
Since the execution of his mother, Zheng Hongbing hasn't heard from his relatives.
Everybody's here. That's my brother, and this is me.
Since turning over his mother to be killed, Zheng Hongbing lives alone and remains resentful toward this period of history that broke his family apart.
The Cultural Revolution was not a revolution at all. It was a step backwards. It brought only pain, bloodshed, and tears to every Chinese family.
Officially, 700,000 people were killed during the 10 years of the Cultural Revolution. But according to certain historians, the death toll was likely between 3 and 4 million.